What if the most broken day of your life was the day Jesus chose to meet you? Not when you had it all together, not when you were strong, but when you were exhausted, ashamed, alone. That's what happened to the woman at the well. One of the most misunderstood yet powerful stories in the entire Bible. And today, it might just be your story too. Let's travel back to ancient Samaria, to a place called Sychar, to a dusty well, Jacob's well, one of the oldest wells in the Bible. It was noon. The heat was unbearable. Most people fetched water early in the morning when it was cool. But this woman, the Samaritan woman at the well, she came at noon when no one else would be there. Why? Because shame prefers silence. Because she wasn't just a woman carrying water. She was carrying wounds and whispers and 5 failed marriages. That day, Jesus met the woman at the well. He sat by the well, tired from the journey. He didn't meet her in the synagogue, not during a worship service. He met her in the ordinary, in her routine, right in her shame. And then he asked, "Will you give me a drink?" This wasn't normal. Jesus with the Samaritan woman at the well. Unheard of. Jews avoided Samaritans. Men didn't initiate public conversation with women like her. And rabbis? They didn't speak to outcasts. Yet Jesus did. He crossed ethnic, religious, and moral lines just to reach her. That's not just a Bible story. That's the gospel in motion. The woman was shocked. "You're a Jew, and I'm a Samaritan woman. Why are you asking me for water?" Jesus replied, "If you knew the gift of God and who is speaking to you, you would ask me, and I would give you living water." Living water? She was confused. "But sir, you don't even have a bucket. The well is deep." This wasn't just Jesus talking to the woman at the well. This was truth talking to thirst. Jesus said, "Whoever drinks this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks the water I give will never thirst. It will become a spring inside them, flowing to eternal life." She paused. This wasn't just about water anymore. This was about her soul. "Sir, give me this water," she said, "so I won't thirst again." Jesus responded, "Go, call your husband." She looked down. "I have no husband." "You're right," Jesus said. "You've had 5 husbands, and the man you're living with now is not your husband." This is the moment many remember. Jesus speaks to the woman at the well. He didn't condemn her. He uncovered her. And she didn't run, because in his voice there was truth. And in his eyes, there was grace. She said, "Sir, I see you're a prophet." And then she shifted the topic, like we often do when it gets too personal. She asked about worship, religion, and traditions. But Jesus didn't get distracted. He brought it back to the heart. He said, "True worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth." And then came the moment. She said, "I know the Messiah is coming." Jesus answered, "I, the one speaking to you, am He." The jar dropped, her old mission forgotten, her shame left behind. She ran to town, the same town she used to avoid. She became the first evangelist in John's Gospel. She said, "Come see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah?" That's why so many search today. Who was the woman at the well? What is the name of the woman at the well? What does her story mean today? This is more than a sermon, more than a KJV Bible verse. This is a living testimony. Emphasis on lessons from the woman at the well. Jesus meets us at our lowest. He sees our scars and still offers living water. He breaks barriers to bring us close. He doesn't avoid sinners, He seeks them. You may not know her name, but you know her story. Because it might be your story too. Tired, rejected, empty. But Jesus is waiting right at your well. Not with judgment, but with grace. He knows everything you've done, and He's still calling your name. That is the heart of the Samaritan woman at the well in the Bible. And that's the love of Christ. This is the true story of Jesus at the well with the Samaritan woman, found in John 4, a story of healing, hope, and living water. She was not forgotten, and neither are you.